What is up everyone, it is Sacred Saiyan here, welcoming you to the first episode of a reboot of the old series I did, What If Sacred Saiyan was in Dragon Ball. If you end up liking today's video, then please consider subscribing. It is free, and you can always unsubscribe later. There's a link in the description of the video to join my Discord server, and also to become a channel member if you want to support the channel. If you want to see any Star Wars What Ifs, then there is a link to my Star Wars channel in the description of the video as well. And before that out of the way, let's get into the first episode of What If Sacred Saiyan was in Dragon Ball. So, the last time I did this series, I created an actual Dragon Ball character called Sacred Saiyan, and a prophecy around it. However, this time, I am taking the series in a completely different way. I am taking myself from real life, with all my knowledge, into Dragon Ball. And with that explanation out of the way, we will now begin. My eyes open. I am in the city, and I look at my hands, and see I'm wearing white gloves, and I see my arms are more muscular than they should be. I have a confused expression on my face, as I run to the window of a building, and I look into it, to see my reflection, but when I do, I see myself as my Dragon Ball character. I come to quickly get used to my new body, and the fact I am inside of this new universe. And even though I do want to get back to my own world, I don't yet have the capabilities to do so. The only thing I believe could get me back to my world is the Super Dragon Balls, and they will be impossible for me to collect alone, especially as only a human. I then get an idea. I see a flyer for the World Martial Arts Tournament where Goku and Piccolo Jr. face off, and I realise at what time in Dragon Ball I was transported to, and I think that Kami must have seen my arrival in this world. Around an hour passes, as I slowly walk outside of the city, and I stand in a forest, where I seemingly talk to myself, and I say, I know you are watching me. We have a lot to discuss, so if you would let me speak to you, then that would be greatly appreciated. I then close my eyes, and open them again, Mr. Popo being there on his magic carpet, and he tells me to get on. I step onto the carpet, and I am brought to the lookout, where I see Goku training, and Kami standing there attentively. I step off the carpet, and Goku stops training after he sees I'm there, and he walks up to me, and outstretches his hand, then introducing himself. I have a look of sheer disbelief on my face. I am meeting the Goku. However, I quickly recompose myself, and then I think about introducing myself with my real name, but instead, I decide to introduce myself as Sacred. Kami then tells Goku to continue his training while me and Kami speak, and Kami then gestures me to follow him, and then I do. Me and Kami walking to the other side of the lookout, before Kami simply asks who I am, and where I came from, as I am clearly not from this world. However, he senses I am human. I tell Kami that in simple terms, I'm from another universe. I don't tell Kami that his world is a manga in my universe, as to not freak him out, but I do tell Kami that I do know what is going to happen in the future. I also tell Kami that I have no clue how or why I'm here though. Kami doesn't sense any evil in me, and right now, he has no other explanation for my arrival, so he believes me, and the first thing he asks about is if Piccolo enters the upcoming martial arts tournament. I simply nod, but I tell Kami that it probably isn't wise for me to tell Kami any of the events that will happen, as if anyone else knows what will happen in the future, it may have unforeseen consequences. Kami agrees, and then I tell Kami that I'm going to need the Dragon Balls. Kami asks why, but I tell Kami to trust me. It is important I get stronger, and I know exactly how to do it. Kami nods, and he tells Mr. Popo to go gather the Dragon Balls. And after a couple of hours pass, Mr. Popo returns with all 7 Dragon Balls. Kami then summons Shenron, and I look in amazement at the dominant figure of Shenron, and then I try to make my first wish. I wish to become the legendary Super Saiyan. Shenron looks blankly at me, saying, "It is not within my power." And I look down, saying I expected as much. I then go with my second option, and I wish to become half Saiyan, and Shenron's eyes flash, then saying, "Your wish has been granted." Before the Dragon Balls then disperse, I then tell Kami that he can't tell anyone about who he really is, and about what he just wished for. However, Kami says he doesn't need to be told that, and he then offers for me to train alongside Goku under him. I nod, saying even though I'm far behind right now, hell, I don't even know how to use Ki right now, but I will catch up. Kami then calls over Goku, and tells him that I will be training alongside him, and Goku is excited as he finally has a new training partner, even if I am far weaker than he is. So, my training under Kami begins, and while Kami teaches me how to use ki and grow stronger with it, I also train with Goku in order to get physically stronger and test my abilities at the end of each day. I stay on the lookout for the events of the World Martial Arts Tournament, as even though I've made progress, I am still not strong enough to face off against Piccolo yet. However, Goku would actually be slightly stronger, meaning when he faces off against the son of the Demon King, he has a slightly easier time. However, the battle is still incredibly even like in canon. We now head into the time skip, where Gohan is born and Goku is very lax on his training. However, I know about the imminent threat of Raditz and the Saiyans, so I don't let up on my training at all. I have less growth due to not having a training partner, however, I still do grow quite a lot. We now arrive at the end of the time skip, where Goku and Gohan are about to head to Kame House, and I arrive outside of Goku's home. Goku being happy to see me, and so is Gohan, as I have stopped by every so often to lightly spar with Goku, and I created a bond with Gohan like I was his uncle, and in my head, I realised the irony to that. For the events which were about to take place, I fly to Kame House alongside Goku and Gohan, making sure to suppress my power, so Raditz still finds Piccolo first, and they have their fight like in canon. And when we arrive at Kame House, Goku not only introduces Gohan, but also introduces me. Shortly after, Raditz arrives, and I allow Raditz to have a speech, and even though it hurts me, I allow Raditz to kidnap Gohan, doing this without causing suspicion by having Raditz smack me into Kame House and acting more injured than I actually am. After Raditz is gone, I get back up, and I help Goku to his feet, with Piccolo arriving shortly after, and creating a temporary alliance. I knew if this event never took place, Piccolo may have never changed in the future, which is why I had to let Raditz take Gohan. Me, Goku, and Piccolo all arrive in front of Raditz, and we all remove our weights and power up to our fullest. And while Goku and Piccolo have power levels relative to their canon selves, I actually have a power level of 1,830. Bear in mind, the humans all got power levels of over 1,000 with only 1 year of training under Kami, and even though they already had good control of ki beforehand, I had much more training under Kami, along with my hybrid potential, so I think it is fine giving myself this power level for the time being. Raditz reads all of our power levels, and Raditz is terrified as he realises I alone am more powerful than him. So with all three of us fighting him at once, there will be no chance for him to win. However, to my confusion, Raditz begins to maniacally laugh. Raditz then creates a fake moon, before I even realise what is going on, and Raditz becomes a Great Ape with a power level that far surpasses all of us combined. I damn the world. I didn't believe Raditz had the ability to do this, and even though I know how to make Raditz revert back to his base form, it is going to be difficult. Especially since I'm the main target of Raditz, because of my power surpassing the other fighters. I shout for Goku and Piccolo to cut off Raditz's tail, as I attempt to dodge Raditz's attacks, however, it is futile, as Raditz grabs me and begins to squeeze the life out of me. Goku and Piccolo take this chance to fire consecutive beams at Raditz's tail, which burns it off, and as Raditz reverts to his base form, he slams me into the ground with his giant fist, just before his power reverts, which ends my life. Goku and Piccolo then have their battle with Raditz like normal, the only difference being there's no tail for Goku to grab, but in the end, he still gets Raditz in a full Nelson, and Piccolo kills the pair with a special beam cannon. Raditz still warns Piccolo of the Saiyan's arrival in 1 year before his death, and now, in Otherworld, Kami is requesting for me and Goku to train under King Kai, and this is where we're going to end off this part. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then make sure to like, comment, and please do subscribe. It is quick and easy to do. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to Mystic Angel, Crimson Dragon 5401, Neo Whitcomb, Destroy God Broly, and Yeti Myth for becoming channel members. If you want to be shouted out at the end of the video and get the perks like the channel members here, then there is a link in the description down below to become a channel member. It greatly supports me, and it helps me immensely. With all of that out of the way, I hope to see you all in the next episode of What If Sacred Saiyan Was in Dragon Ball.